Hey everybody, this is Bandit. I had a request from some of my viewers and from some of Bluegrass's viewers wanting to see how I set up my tent and what the process was for setting up the tent. I know there's some official videos that are online that you can see on how to set up a Zpacks DupleXL, but since I got requests, I went ahead and said, okay, I can do that. So what I decided to do is I'm going to go ahead and I recorded a 10-minute video of me setting up the tent that's behind you, which is the Zpacks DupleXL, which is no longer in production, by the way. They discontinued it and did the offset Duo, which has the same floor space. But anyway, I went ahead and did a 10-minute video on this, so let's go ahead and get that one started. So just to show you, not that much to it. I'll get my stakes out. This tent's pretty simple to set up. Basically, I find the level of spot as I can, stretch it out, and I usually look to see, try to level off the tent the best I can. And then I'll just start at the corners. This tent, I don't set it up exactly like Zpacks does. We are at a bottom, so what I'm looking at on the bottom, when you're down at the bottom next to a river, you could have a problem with condensation. So I'm going to pitch this one a little bit higher than I would normally pitch it to let the ventilation come through. It's going to be cool tonight, so I'm not going to pitch it so high, but I will keep it high enough to where I can control the condensation with it. So basically I stretch across the front side, one side, put the stakes in. I can move them if I need to. And I adjust, the way I pitch it high is by adjusting the strings. If I pitch it, let the strings out long, the pitch is pretty high. If I bring the strings in close, I end up with a low pitch. Now, Zpacks instructions will tell you to measure off your pole. I think they say go 46 inches on your pole. I don't measure my pole. I found that if I do it based on how long I make my string, I can control the pitch that way, and then the poles, when I put them in, I just put them in. Left my poles back here though. Now the Zpacks, unlike the Durston, you do have to have at least 6 stakes. I got 5 in it right now. I have modified my tent a little bit. I put some loops down at the bottom to help hold the bathtub floor taut. I like it to be a little bit taut when it comes as this DupleXL, which they've discontinued in place with the offset Duo. It comes with nothing on there to hold that bottom down, but I do like doing that. You'll notice I just pull the pole up to get it taut. Now go around the other side, do the same thing. I find that loop, put the bottom in, make sure it's down tight, lower that, pick it up, raise the stick up, raise my trekking pole up. You'll notice the strings on the corner are already starting to get tight just by doing it. I got some tangled up down here. Probably should have looked at that before I got it started. Got my strings tangled up a little bit. Probably should have looked at that last time I put this thing away. It was raining. I was trying to get things done in a hurry. Come over here where my stakes are. Pull one stake. Put it in. I always put these in at an angle away from the pull. Helps hold the pressure. And if you have to adjust, you adjust. Had that one a little close. And you can adjust the tension just by pulling the strings, pulling the lines. And that's pretty much it. Now, with the DupleXL, it does have the option on the sides over here. And I use them because I am 6'2", and the XL gives you some extra room. You pull these out. So that makes you use 8 stakes, but I use it because I like a good taut tent and I like that extra room. You'll notice I still got a lot of slack in it. All you do to do that, go to the corners, pull the lines. That's pretty much it, guys. I can do the other corners just same thing like this, but you've already seen that. I don't think you need to see much more. You can go ahead and roll up this curtain. Now these curtains, I either leave them open or I can pull these down, create the vestibules, clip that in. I can do it with both sides, one side or no sides. Tonight I will probably leave one side open because I need the airflow next to the creek. Let me go ahead and tighten this up so you can see. And then while Bluegrass is filming, he can look in there to show you the room in there. This is a 2-person tent. So there's plenty of room in there. It's a little bit different than Bluegrass's. His is a 1-person. But I like to keep all of my gear inside the tent rather than the vestibules. Or vestibules, I don't know how you say that word. I can't say it. Vestibule, is that what it is? Okay, so you use that. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. There's not a lot else to it. Now, comparing the two tents, I think they each have their own pros and cons. This one of the cons that I don't like, Zpacks puts in a clip here to hold the tent out, and that clip is made to come loose so that you can fold the tent up and store it better. So they leave the clip open, which means you have to get down. And on a day like this, if I don't have my glasses on, I've got to get down and reclip it because it comes open. I would wish, if I had to, that it didn't have something like that, that it would just stay clipped. Just make life a little bit easier when it does that. Doesn't take but a minute, but it's just a pain to have to remember to go in there and reclip it every time. Especially if you're in a hurry at night. But yeah, these both have their own pros and cons. I like this one because it's a 2-person. I like a lot of room. But it does require more stakes than the Durston. They're both Dyneema. They both hold up well in the wind. Not had any problem with it. And I like I said, I'm a big guy, so I like a lot of room. But other than that, then I'm gonna come over close to Bluegrass so he can talk too, and see if he can talk about the pros and cons, what he likes better about his than mine, or vice versa. I don't think there's really which one's better. It's
not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's which ones you wanna.
Yeah, his has more room, just being a 2-person. Mine's 1-person, but I guess the pros of mine is, you know, sets up off 4 stakes. I don't have to really have any guidelines if I don't you know, want to guide it out, but they're really very similar. So.
And with his, He's got larger vestibules than I have. His are larger. He can put his gear under the vestibules. I can do the same thing, but on nights like tonight, if you'll notice how high my vestibule is pitched, if you look over here and look at how high it's pitched, that's by design. I did that by design because I wanted to keep the airflow. When it's that high, that's not giving you a whole lot of protection from the weather. It's not supposed to rain tonight, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm worried more about the airflow since we are next to the water. If I wanted to pitch this thing lower, what I would do is I'd pull those strings in real tight, pull them in tight, get it down, and that my trekking poles will be pitched lower, and you bring it all the way to the ground. You lose some of your airflow, but you got more protection from the weather. You got more protection from stuff like that. But the Durston does have bigger vestibules in it. I think it's just a matter of personal preference. And again, Zpacks apparently has discontinued this tent. They went with the offset duo, so don't know why, because this is, in my opinion, this is a fantastic tent, but I think more people didn't like the fact of the trekking pole right in the middle of the doorway, but you get used to that. That's not something that's going to bother anybody.
Yep.
Once you get used to it. When you first do it, you say, I got to get around that thing, but if somebody my size can get around it, anybody can do it.
Exactly. Well, thanks a lot, Bandit. Appreciate you taking the time, and I know we had a few viewers that were asking for comparisons, so that's why we took the time to do this. So thank y'all for watching.